You know, Mount Zion, gospel music has no doubt been the harmonic aid to the expression and liberation of black folk throughout history. The voice you are about to hear has dedicated his life to echoing this incredible tradition. A native of Detroit, Michigan, Dr. Dent, a baritone vocalist, music arranger, and co-producer of the 10-time Grammy Award-winning group Take Six, who in 2014 would go on to be inducted into the Gospel Music Hall of Fame in Nashville, Tennessee. As a professor at MTSU, Dr. Dent directs the MTSU Singers, which is a jazz ensemble, teaches a course he developed on the history of black gospel music, as well as undergraduate and graduate courses in music. He is also the coordinator of the School of Music's internship for music industry majors, all while continuing to compose and arrange for various live and recorded projects. Dr. Dent holds degrees from the University of Michigan, the University of Alabama, the University of Maryland, and is a recipient of the University of Michigan's 2016 Hall of Fame Award from the School of Music, Theater and Dance Alumni Society. It is my honor to present to some and introduce to others the legendary Dr. Cedric Dent. Come on, Mount Zion, let's put our hands together and receive this creative genius.
Good evening, family. I'm not going to belabor the point, but when it comes to the history of black gospel music, you heard that I teach a course on this. I was the first I learned to actually teach a course on the history of gospel music at Middle Tennessee State University. It's a state school, but when it comes to the history of black gospel music, Thomas Andrew Dorsey is called the father of gospel music, primarily and ironically because of the influence of the blues. I say ironically because when he was a popular musician in the 1920s, the blues was the music that the upstanding church people didn't listen to. It was associated with places of ill repute. People went to bars and to clubs and to juke joints and even brothels. This is what this music was associated with, and he became a superstar playing and singing this style of music. But then, when he got saved, when he gave his heart to the Lord, he began to play and write church music. But his church music, for a lot of people, tended to sound like the blues stylistically, the music he knew best. And at first, not only was his music rejected, but Dorsey himself was banned from playing in some churches. But then one day in 1932, Dorsey was headed to a church in St. Louis from his home in Chicago, where he planned to organize a choir that would sing this new blues-inflected church music. Story goes, when he got there was a telegram waiting for him. The telegram said that his wife, who was in the last stages of pregnancy, was fatally ill and that he should return home right away. When Dorsey got home, his wife had passed. Now, the baby she carried was born without difficulty, but then within a few days also died. You can imagine he sank into a deep, deep, deep depression, shut himself up in a room for about 3 days, barely sleeping and eating. When he came to himself, he composed one of the greatest gospel hymns of all time. It's that hymn that Mahalia Jackson sang just before a famous Martin Luther King speech. And after she finished singing it, and just before he takes the podium, he turns to Mahalia and says, "Haley, if I go before you, I need you to sing that hymn at my funeral." And that she did. This hymn is so popular that just a few years after that, when she passed, it was the Queen of Soul who sang this very same hymn at her funeral. And just a few years ago, when Aretha Franklin died, the Queen of Soul, guess what? It was an R&B singer, Fantasia, who sang again this very same hymn. The words say, "Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired, I am weak, I am worn. Through the storm, through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, lead me on." Precious Lord, take my hand, lead me on, let me stand. I am tired. I am weak. I am worn. Yeah. Through the storm and through the night, lead me on to the light. Take my hand, precious Lord, and lead me on home. Yeah.